Hello and good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It is Tuesday the 5th of April. The time is 8:33 a.m. and this is my morning forecast. I hope everyone had a fantastic day yesterday and weekend if you've not watched my forecast yesterday. So guys, let's get straight into it. This is Aussie US dollar. As you can see, guys, I've not taken any trades here. I know there was a flag here. I did talk about this in my live forecast last night. So the reason being, right, you guys can see what's happened most recently. We've come up, right? We've, of course, did we even break this low? I'm sure we did. Low 811, 809. Yes. So we've broken this high, retraced, broken this high, retraced, had a little bit of range. Then we broke this high with some momentum, formed a wick and retraced. Okay. Now again, we did form a flag, but if you look at price action for me, even though there was a continuation flag here, you can see we broke this low. Okay, and then of course we shot off, right? So there was that kind of entry like this, like I like to say. But for me, there were two to three reasons why I didn't enter this. Number one, the current state of the market is that we're range bound. Okay, so you can clearly see that we would have areas of liquidity sitting up here. Okay, and we've just entered that. And if you look at the way we've entered that, you can clearly see, guys, we've had one candle push up, and then this candle. You can see how large that wick is and how solid the next candle is. So again, I was expecting a little bit more of a range. And what I mean by that is more range in here, okay? And one of the things is, also, if you look at this carefully, when you look at this momentum, right? This momentum, even, ignoring the wick, let's just say this kind of momentum, right? That momentum can be compared to this momentum, we've got this momentum move here, and of course this momentum, right? So this is really not that impulsive or showing me that much commitment, especially the fact that we came on top of this kind of range, okay? So that's exactly why I personally didn't take it. And another one of the things, if anyone does naked chart this, is the way that it actually happened. If you look, guys, we didn't really break and retrace in a sense. We kind of stagnated before we got that kind of entry candle here. So again, there was a lot of things that just didn't make this very high probability for me personally. If you did take this, then you would be like running a nice profit. I'm sure you might have been able to reduce your risk. But like I say, that's the reason why I personally didn't enter. Market state is range bound, okay? So again, what is happening now? Well, we're clearly seeing this commitment, right? So for me, I will be looking to get involved in this kind of flag. We see this flag, I say all the time, if we see this commitment, I will be looking to get involved in this nice continuation flag, okay? If we don't get the opportunity, we retrace, break the high with momentum, pull back to this level, I'll be more than happy to look for a continuation retest of that level there. Why? Because, well, we've got clear momentum up. We can clearly see that, okay? So I will be looking for opportunity like that. But if we start to see this weakness at the top, okay, I will be looking at opportunities to go back down south, okay, if we see that momentum. Now, again, once this candle finishes, it can either, like I say, can continue up, okay, or we can actually get this kind of range. We've got a high here, we've got a low here. We will start to get this kind of range within here, okay? And then from there, we'll just be sitting on my hands. I'll be being patient and waiting for more price action. So like I say, I'm not involved in any of this, okay? Well, we've just come over a range. And now for me, we've started to impulse out of here. You can clearly see if I just drew it like this, the range is like this, okay? This pair, it likes to trend correctively. We've impulsed out of it. So now I'm looking for trade setups, okay? So like I say, Aussie US dollar is a corrective trender. And for me, we've been in a range. So again, I was not looking for any opportunities. Next pair is a Euro US dollar. Now, as you can see, guys, I have taken a trade here, okay? And this is something that I did speak about on my forecast last night for anyone that was watching. You can see, guys, most recent price action was saying, hey, what did I say in yesterday's forecast? I said, we've got this impulse down, more likely to see this correction and a push down. That's exactly what we got. And I said, if we get that chance to see, well, either a continuation like this, or I actually said continuation flag, then I'll be more than happy to get involved. Now, as you can see, guys, we've clearly broken low with momentum, right? Okay, you can clearly see that we've got a nice push down, we've got one candle retrace, and then we've continued with that momentum pretty nicely, okay? Now, I was saying on my forecast last night that I would not be interested in this setup, okay? I think we were at this candle here, okay? So at this point, I personally was not interested, okay? And the reason being is because we've just entered this area, lower range, lower level of liquidity, right? There'll be liquidity sitting here. So even in this scenario, after this candle, price could easily just have done this. Okay, so I said if we start to get that range, okay, and then we come up to this level, then I'm more than happy to do that. Okay, so if we look at what happens next, the next candle stagnated again. I still wasn't interested, but then after this candle gave me everything I needed to actually enter this trade. Okay, so some of you may say, well, maybe that's not enough of a range. Well, if you think about it, right, if we've entered this lower level of liquidity, we would anticipate that move up. And even though if this was a spread hours candle, again, when I naked chart and backtest, I'm not really looking how it's reacting in spread hours from a liquidity zone. I'm seeing we've stagnated. We've not seen any of these candles grow larger or push up. So for me, now I'm happy to get involved in a continuation retest. Okay, you can see that we've got a level here. I've not seen, even from this liquidity zone, that we're reacting. Okay, we are stagnating. This is enough evidence for me on this pair to continue. Why? Well, we can get this kind of price action like this and shoot down again. Exactly how price was reacting here. Okay, you can see we impulse down, got this corrective behavior, impulse down, corrective behavior, impulse down. It likes to do this. It's done this a lot. So again, that's exactly why I was happy to put my order on. As you can see, got tagged in on this candle at 1 a.m. and we have now, I think, ranged around. And again, now we're currently, obviously, you can clearly see that we are sitting in the stop loss. Okay, so again, like I say, this is a trade. You know, when you're in this trade, you know, for anyone that's in this trade or is experiencing, oh my God, this is currently losing or this and that, it doesn't matter. Because, you know, when we backtest for the entry points. We've entered it and we let it be. So whatever happens, happens. For me, I'm not feeling any emotion. This is doing what the market does. So I personally don't care what the market does until we either break the low or we break the high. Okay, so there's a high here and we've got a low here. If we break the low, okay, and we continue with this trend, I'm more than happy to get involved, okay, like this. I would not be looking for this kind of setup, okay? Reason being is because I would have had risk on the table. So for me, I'm personally not looking for that kind of setup until I've taken on my risk. But if we come up, okay, break this high impulsively, more than happy to look for that nice continuation flag. Or if we actually come down, break these lows correctively, I will be looking for those opportunities also to go north in the form of a reversal retest or that nice kind of continuation flag if we get that impulsive behavior. Okay, so right now, again, like I say, I'm in this trade, so I'm waiting to see what happens. We have started to range, we can see that. So like I say, again, it depends how we actually exit these areas before I look for opportunity. For me personally, if we come up in this ascending manner, right, and then we come down and have something like this, I'm not really interested because we've got this descending into an ascending, and that's not high probability for me on this pair. Okay, so that's what I'm looking at on the Euro US dollar, waiting to see what happens next. Next pair is the Euro Japanese yen, and guys, this is getting a little bit more interesting. Okay, so excuse me, just having a sip of tea there. You can see, guys, we have been in this range. We broke the low of this range, okay, with this candle here, retrace. Then we broke this site impulsively, right? We could clearly see from this liquidity zone, the market was reacting, right? Okay, now for me, let's have a read into deeper price action, okay? You can see up here, we broke this high, retraced, broke the low, retraced, telling us that we're going to be range bound. And that's exactly what we've got, guys. You can clearly see, guys, we've got this very strong range, okay? It was very evident from all the price action here, telling us we're going to be range bound. Now what happened after this range? You can see we broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace, broke the low, retrace. We've got a very nice descending manner here. We've got a little bit of a larger descending and a smaller descending. And one of the things I like about this, right, is because you can see the way we reacted from this liquidity area down here, right, when we took it out with this candle here, we saw that momentum up. So again, all of this was ranging, then we've got uncertain behavior, and now we're seeing that momentum up. So for me, what am I looking for? Well, if we actually get this kind of, if this candle finishes solid or strong, okay, I'll be looking to get involved, okay? We're in this kind of reversal setup. Why? Well, again, we're not only just come out the range, but now we're starting to see this kind of descending, right? With a smaller descending, very nice, very high probability. We've got the squeeze, got the momentum up. So again, I'm looking for this kind of reversal retest, okay? I've not gotten any strong evidence from recent price action that we want to go down. We've rejected from this level, retraced. Even with kind of this major level here, we've rejected, retrace, rejected, retrace. So in a sense, we've got this kind of larger descending if you want to look at it like that, right? But all in all, price action is telling me, hey, we don't really want to go down. And every time we hit these liquidity zones, we're seeing the commitment up, right? Seeing the commitment up. So for me, happy to look for this reversal retest. Again, we may not get that. If we impulse up, more than happy to look for those nice continuation flags, okay? Very nice, very high probability. So again, I'm waiting for more. You can clearly see this candle is very strong, very bullish. So let's see what happens next. Next pair is the pound. As you can see, guys, this was pretty range bound. I think we've just broken the high, so high is 446, 445. Okay, we haven't broken the high. We're still within this range. Even if we win this range, I always say on this pair, I'm looking for commitment. So if we get that commitment out, I'm more than happy to look for these nice continuation flags, okay, in this kind of manner. Or if we get those nice impulses out and we don't get involved in a flag, but we get a small kind of retrace, breakdown, pull back to this level, I'm more than happy to look at these kind of setups, okay? Very high probability. So again, like I always say with the pound, I want more committed or impulsive price action before I consider getting involved. Next pair is the Aussie Japanese yen. As you can see, guys, like I said before, yesterday, we've come in this descending, we've come to this ascending, okay? Now we've started to see momentum up. So let's have a look and see what happens, or how we have been breaking the highs and lows. You can see, guys, we broke the high, retraced, broke this low, retraced, broke the low, retraced, broke the high, retraced, got the range. Now, what happened after, okay? Now we came up, we broke this high with a little bit of momentum into this liquidity area, okay? And we started to see a little bit of a range. In fact, I think we broke the high, so high is not 742, 743, yeah. So we came to this liquidity area, we broke this high, retraced, broke this low, retraced, and I think, of course, you guys can see from Aussie US dollar and Aussie Japanese yen, I think that this was possibly a news candle. Something has obviously happened at 5 a.m. and we've got this nice strong bullish up. So again, we are seeing that commitment. So even though we have come from this range or even like an ascending, we're seeing that impulsive behavior, which is nice to see. So for me, I will be looking to get involved in a nice continuation flag if we get this, right? Nice continuation flag, more than happy to look to get involved. If we get this small pullback, momentum break, pull back to this level, more than happy to get involved in that, okay? So very nice, very high probability. Happy to look for that kind of setup. I'm waiting for a lot more price action. Even though we are now correctively trending in a sense, well, it's not really correctively trending, because again, like I said, we've got these ranges here. We've got a break, a retrace, and now we've got another range here. So again, not really correctively trending. So I'm not really looking to get involved. Even if price was actually going to pull back ridiculously to this level, I'm not looking to get involved. So like I say, flags or this kind of continuation is happy to look for. Or we might just get a strong reversal, give that a V shape, then I'll be looking for price action going south. Or we just might get this larger range, okay? So I'm waiting to see what happens next on Aussie Japanese yen. Next pair is NJ, New Zealand Japanese yen. As you can see, guys, I did say versus AJ, that AJ likes to move similar. We're pretty much range bound. So let's have a look of how we are breaking the highs and lows. This pair likes to trend correctively and it likes this kind of retest. So let's have a look. We have broken this low, retrace, broken this high, seen a little bit of momentum, broke the high, retrace, broke the low, retrace, giving us evidence we're going to be range bound. Then we broke this high, came into this liquidity area, but we didn't see any real shift in momentum, okay? You can see that. We didn't really see momentum really just pull down. In fact, what we actually did was we actually had this little bit of a range, okay? And we didn't get any market bias. And now we've just started to impulse up. We've just seen that commitment up. So for me, what am I looking for? Well, what is high probability on this player? If we get a very nice continuation flag, I will be looking to get involved in that, okay? If I see nice, strong commitment. But if I start to see this weakness, I will be looking for that reversal setup. If we see that impulsive behavior down, more than happy to look to get involved. Or if we get that break of this low, pull back to this level, more than happy to look for nice reversal retests, okay? Like I say, if we see that weakness, I'm more than happy to look for reversals down. And this is also similar to Aussie Japanese yen. If we actually come up into this kind of longer level of liquidity in that kind of corrective manner, okay? So if we actually have come up into it like this, okay? Then very, very high probability to go down south if we see that committed break. So, okay, so for now, like I say, I am seeing this kind of impulsive behavior. I personally want to see a little bit more and I want to see a nice continuation flag before I even consider getting involved, okay? So that's what I'm looking at in the market ahead. I hope everyone has a fantastic trading day ahead, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.